How's it going, everyone? Back today with a good video on running a push-pull leg split. The things that we need to think about in terms of what can make this a good split, things we can do to get the most out of it, who is the split for, all that sort of stuff. Now, I want to make this a sort of a series going over all the different types of training splits and how we can manipulate them to fit our goals. So it's going to act as a little bit of an education tool. Now I'm going to run through all of the splits and then I'm going to run through each individual day, whether that be a push, a pull, a leg, a upper, a lower, a full body day. They'll be separate videos on how we can get the most out of each session, but I wanted to just overview. In general, push-pull legs, it's a pretty common way to train. But there's certain ways and certain things we can do to make it better, in my opinion, and who is the split for as well, because it's not for everybody. So, first thing, let me start this by saying that there is no best split. Whether someone wants to train upper, lower, push-pull legs, full body, a bro split, a split routine, there's no one best way to train, right? That will highly depend on your experience levels, your goals, your time commitments, all of that stuff. There's many factors that go into it, so don't think there is only one way to train, because there isn't. But the first thing that we always need to understand, and what will underpin everything that we do in the gym, it's understand the relationship between volume, intensity, frequency. It's crucial. They are the big dials that we have to turn for everything regarding training. If we get this right, again, whether you follow it upper, lower, full body, or push-pull legs, so long as you get you can tweak these dials right, you're going to be good to go. If you get these wrong, it doesn't matter what split you train, you're going to run into some problems. You have to be able to tinker these in a way that will suit your recovery abilities, your actual needs, experience levels. Again, there's so much that goes into it. This is, as I say, the cornerstone and the most important thing of every successful training plan, is being able to understand these variables properly. So, as a general rule of thumb, only 2 of these will ever be high at once. You can't have high volume, high intensity, high frequency, because you'll bury yourself into the ground. It just will not happen. You can train high volume, but then the frequency might be high, but that will mean the intensity will have to be pretty low. You can train high intensity, pretty high frequency, but the volume of those sessions will be very low. Same again, you can train high volume, high frequency, but the intensity will be low. So you can't have 3 high. It's only the maximum you can have high is 2, and 1 will have to be brought down just to allocate room for the other variables to be in the right direction that they need to be. So again, that's a good tip. Learned that many years ago, and it's so true. When you manipulate them, 2 can only be high at once. So push-pull legs. What is the benefit of push-pull legs? Now, at a certain point in your development, now if you train full body or an upper lower, sometimes, for example, let's say you train an upper body session, to try and get a lot of stimulative back work, shoulder work, chest work, direct bicep, tricep work, to try and cram all of that into one session can be pretty tough at some point. Now, in order for you to bring the focus and intensity that you might need to step forward on some of those exercises and some of those movements, on an upper split, as you get really strong, that can be difficult to do. And that's not to say it can't be done, but again, this is the problems that I've run into myself and with other people. So that's where push-pull legs comes in. It allows you to have a greater focus on each individual area as you move through your training. Because again, let's take the example. Let's say someone is trying to train back, chest and shoulders, biceps, tricep in one session. Now, in an upper body session, to train your chest first, and you go into a back movement, as you get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th exercise of that, you can be pretty beat down, never mind by the time you get to doing your, whether that be direct bicep and tricep work. Sometimes it's a lot of work for one session, and in order for you to keep moving forward, at some point you may be better off having more of a focus split, and that's where push-pull legs comes in. Now, what I've found, this is suited to more experienced lifters. Now, this isn't to say that someone who is 1 to 2 years within their training career can't do this. Of course they can. There's no set rules with any of this. This is just what I've seen. Someone who's got a bit more experience and needs more allocated focus on these certain areas does well with a push-pull leg split, because, as I say, they're pretty strong. They're not going to have back work interfering with their chest work or shoulder work, and they can allocate more time and effort to certain areas. And, as I say, especially useful as you get stronger. So let's have a little look at a typical push-pull leg split. When you talk about push-pull legs, this will be the most common way that it's run. On a 7-day training week, now people will train pull, push, legs, pull, push legs in a A and B rotation. So each of these warehouses will be slightly different. So you'll have an A rotation and then a B rotation of pull, push, legs. Each of those warehouses will be slightly different. You repeat the week, you'll have some day off, and then you'll come back and you'll repeat that rotation again. Now, can that work? Of course it can, but I just think there's better ways that you can do it. Again, it all comes down to how strong you are as well, how much damage you're doing per session. Someone who's a beginner or maybe a couple of years into their training career might be able to get away with this. But as you get stronger, you might struggle to recover, and again, you might bury yourself into the ground by trying to do 6 training days in a row. So, a better way to run a push-pull legs, in my eyes, again, in my own experience and with other people, I always had good feedback by this, is we extend our training week from 7-day training week to a 9 to 10-day training week. Now, it's a very subtle change, but it allows us, the big thing, it allows us more recovery in between sessions. Now, you have a look, pull A, push B, then you always have a rest day either side of legs, because as we know, as you get very strong as well, legs are going to be a very, very taxing training day. Well, it should be if you're training properly. So to have a rest day either side of legs, it makes the most sense to me, because you want to go into leg training fresh, and then a day after legs, it's good to let the body recover, and then you can come back in again. So pull A, this should say pull A as well. So you'll have the A rotation, and then you'll rest, and then you'll have the B rotation. So instead of trying to cram this into 7 days, you have a 9 to 10 day training week. Now, people say to me, oh, what about the frequency? You must hit something twice per week, or two times every 7 days. The body does not know whether you're hitting the muscle group 2 times in 7 days or 9 days. It does not make a difference. Do you really think over the course of the next 2 years of your training, if you decide to have this rotation in a 9 to 10 day period over a 7-day period, do you really think it's going to make a difference if you're stepping forward in performance and you're using heavier weight for sets and reps? You just progressive overload is happening. Do you think it really matters? Of course it doesn't. Don't be silly. So this is a much better way to run a push-pull legs, in my opinion. As I say, gives you more recovery time in between sessions, and then you can come into every session that you do with a little bit more oomph, a little bit more gas in the tank, and each session can be a little bit more stimulative, and it makes a big difference in the long term. So getting into it, you need to, as I alluded to just then, the very, very big principle of training, when you understand this, it all makes sense. Stimulus, recovery, adaptation. The training session is the stimulus. We have to then come out of the gym and recover from that for the adaptation to take place, and then we can step forward in our load in the gym, or by adding an extra rep or better performance. It's all well and good training 6-7 days a week and plastering yourself into the ground, but then what's the point if you're not allowing recovery and adaptation to take place? All of your work in the gym is for nothing. That's why, again, with the improving recovery, with having the push-pull legs, the rotation in a 9 to 10 day training split over a 7, trying to cram all of it in, you allow this to take place. So then you're going into each session with the adaptations taking place, you feel fresh, and then you're able to provide a better stimulus, get out and recover, let the adaptations take place. Now, again, when you understand this principle, this is what I always try and get across to people who are trying to train 7 days a week. You need to understand this. It is a vital concept of getting bigger and stronger. It's massive. Now, as I say, with a push-pull legs spread out on a 9 to 10 day routine, you're going to go into each session a lot fresher, and long term you're going to be able to train harder in each session, provide a better stimulus, and again, you're going to get bigger. If you understand the stimulus recovery adaptation principle, you're going to be good to go. Okay, so just to finish this little quick video, you have to experiment with this yourself. You'll have to experiment with a push-pull legs see how your body responds to it. You could try and cram 6 days of training in 7 days, try that, and you might realise, okay, I can't handle that, and then that's when you will switch to a 9 to 10 day training split instead of a 7 trying to cram it in. You have to, it's all well and good me telling you this, but if you go and experiment, go and try it yourself and you see how your body responds, that's the best thing you can do in this training game. But again, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a video of how you can run a push-pull legs, the benefits of it, and then the benefits of how if you increase your recovery time in between sessions, it makes a big difference. So that's the video. Next video we'll be going into each specific session, so push, pull, legs, and certain exercise selection, the order that we can put things in, set some reps ideas, and just go over how we can run a session to give you a bit of an idea on how to do things. So let me know what you think. Anybody got any questions, drop them down below. I'll speak to you in the next one.